Thank you for joining me in the basement. It's a big deal you're here. There's only one you, and you might be wondering, why? Why is the world in the midst of a frenzy of buying of silver and gold? We're going to explore that in this video. Heck, in the last year, central bank numbers alone are astounding. Listen to these figures. It was the most in 55 years. Central banks bought more gold in 2022 than they had in any of the previous 55 years. And it's important to note that back in 1967, when they did buy more, most all of the world was on the gold standard. So last year's numbers were astounding. Last year's numbers were 150% higher than the previous year, 2021. About 1,136 tons of gold were purchased. And that's been going on basically since the 2008 financial crisis. Steady buying, increased buying of gold by the central banks of the world, but not the Western central banks. Interestingly, it's all the countries outside of the Western central banks. Why? Why are they doing this? And will it continue? We're going to learn about that in this video. It's very fascinating what's going on. Let's get started right now. Do your ears perk up when you see an article that says, this billionaire did this, this billionaire likes gold, this billionaire doesn't like gold? Our ears naturally perk up, but what we should pay more attention to is what the large central banks of the world are doing. Let's face it, they're a notch above even the world's billionaires. They are the world's most sophisticated financial institutions. So when they are acquiring gold on a very regular basis, we need to ask why. There's two big drivers as to what's going on. Number one is inflation. So do you think sophisticated central bankers around the world know one good way to protect their country against inflation, protect their currency, is with gold? Hasn't it worked for the last 5,000 years? And it's working today. We're seeing countries around the world, Zimbabwe, Iran, Turkey, all that have been suffering from horrific bouts of inflation, moving to gold to protect their citizens, to protect their currency, and to fight inflation. And do you think a lot of these Eastern countries also have reason to be fearful of the dollar? That's the second big reason that countries are moving to gold. There's two reasons why they're afraid of the dollar. The first being that the dollar itself is losing value. Heck, it's lost 95% of its value since 1971 when President Nixon temporarily took us off the gold standard. We won't go into that now, but that's a fact. So they're afraid that holding dollars, that those dollars will also continue to become worthless. But the second reason they're afraid of the dollar is because many of the countries are afraid that their dollars could get sanctioned or confiscated from them. The United States has a recent history of using the dollar as a weapon. So that's the second driver as to why they're moving away from the dollar and to gold, which has been a stable store of value for thousands and thousands of years. You chose to be here right now, and I honor that. Your time is valuable, and I honor the fact that you're joining me right now from wherever you are in the world here in the basement. It is a big deal. Hey, if you enjoy my content, please subscribe, give the video a thumbs up, share it with anyone you like, leave a comment in the comment section below. Another reason we need to look at is the prospect of gold revaluation. Gold being actually used to back a major new currency. We're hearing rumblings of that coming from the BRICS. We know that China alone is the world's largest producer of gold, but did you know they're also the world's largest importer of gold? They imported over 500 tons of gold from Switzerland in 2022 alone. That's on top of the massive amount of gold that they mined and kept in their own country. So the world is seeing this move towards more gold-backed, real asset-backed currencies, and they want to get ahead of the curve. They want to get as much gold in their coffers as they can because it provides safety and security. It is the base level still in the world, always has been, always will be, on which all these other flimsy money systems are built. At the base foundation are gold and silver. Does it feel like to you that maybe it's becoming a dollar versus gold world? I mean, hasn't it really kind of been that way since 1971 anyway, when the dollar was officially divorced from gold? And when divorces happen, the two parties typically don't remain very fond of each other. It's going to be interesting how this all plays out as we head into the coming weeks, quarters, and years. We're going to have some choppy waters, but we can make it through. We'll do it together. Come back and visit me in the basement. If you enjoy my content, please subscribe, watch another video, but most important, come back and I'll look forward to seeing you soon.